I had no intentions of making a video tonight in the wee hours of the morning, but a news story has come to my awareness that is obviously of great interest to my audience. A male feminist YouTuber named Alexander Kolpakov, his channel name was Skeptic Feminist, has murdered his channel co-host and polyamorous lover, Heather Annabel, known to fans of the channel as Ivy. Alexander, who, according to my sources, was a veteran who may have suffered from PTSD, was doing shrooms with Heather on Saturday night when he became obsessed with the notion that Heather was trying to kill him and that she had poisoned him. Feminist Laura Athena, another member of Alexander's polyamorous harem, was apparently Skyping with Heather and Alexander during their mushroom trip when Alexander started freaking out and making the aforementioned bizarre accusations against Heather. Now, both the girls attempted to calm Alexander down, but he was inconsolable with fear and with rage. At around 9:30 p.m., the Skype call dropped, and shortly thereafter, Alexander shot Heather Annabel multiple times in the neck and chest. With fresh bullet wounds, she fled from her apartment, still scrambling to escape, but she didn't make it very far. She collapsed in the parking lot and died, scared and alone there, bleeding on the cement. According to my sources, Laura Athena, the girl that Heather and Alexander were Skyping with at the time of this incident, is now very concerned about anti-SJW channels like mine using this event to make feminists look bad, which is odd to me because I would think her primary concern would be that her lover murdered her friend. Nonetheless, I must agree with Laura. The anti-SJW community should, and in fact must, resist the urge to turn this into a simple matter of feminist hypocrisy, because it's so much more than that, and it's so much more complicated than that. Now, Alexander did not murder Heather in an act of misogyny, but rather in a fit of drug-induced paranoia coupled with mental illness. There is another aspect here, however. I am told that shortly before the shooting, Alexander presented Heather with a ring that may have signified that he wished to make their relationship more serious and possibly more exclusive, getting away from their polyamorous lifestyle. This leads me to believe that Alexander had strong feelings for Heather, and I'm willing to bet that he now deeply regrets his loss of control from the inside of his jail cell. I only mention this because it has also been suggested to me that despite Alexander's polyamorous lifestyle and public admonitions of jealousy in relationships, there is reason to believe that he himself was jealous of other men who interacted with Heather, even going so far as to refuse to meet any of her male friends. Could his anger towards Heather have been due to the issues of jealousy and to control? Could these feelings have manifested themselves in the form of a drug and psychosis-based belief that Heather had poisoned him? Was she perhaps unwilling to give him the exclusivity that the ring that he gave her perhaps symbolized? Was he sickened by the fact that she took multiple partners, just as he did? Well, on these matters, I can only speculate, but I have spoken to several close friends of Heather Annabel who come from both the feminist and anti-feminist camps, and the main concern that all of them have shared with me is they don't want to see their kind and supportive friend's grisly murder at the hands of a man she trusted be used as fodder for either side of that debate. A year ago, Annabelle was considering dumping Alexander due to his controlling nature and due to the fact that he couldn't get along with any of her friends. Those close to Alexander and Annabel remark that Alexander seemed to not get along with anyone who didn't agree with him on everything. Now, I'm sure the pleas of Heather's friends, the pleas to not use her as fodder in this feminist versus anti-feminist, SJW versus anti-SJW debate, I'm sure that those will go unheeded. Anti-SJW channels will surely crow about Alexander's profound hypocrisy, and feminists will surely use this incident to further vilify men by pointing out that even seemingly good pro-feminist men are really just abusive, murdering sacks of shit. Friends of Heather Annabel describe her as a kind person who always saw the good in people's intentions and who always pushed herself and those around her to be more than what they were. So let's not let the ugliness of Alexander Kolpakov's barbaric act of cruelty, ugliness, jealousy, control, and profound hypocrisy be the only thing that we take from this story. Let's also celebrate the life of Heather Annabel, who was a great friend to many people and always treated her friends with loyalty and love. I doubt she would have cared much for me in her life, since she was a feminist, and I've been very critical of feminism. But from what others have told me about being friends with her, I do wish that I'd known her. And I wish that she had listened to her gut a year ago when the controlling and jealous nature of Alexander became apparent to her. But she saw the good in him, as she saw the good in everyone, and maybe that trait got her killed. Yet, I still choose to see it as a virtue, because when you see only the ugliness in everyone around you, the world itself becomes an ugly place. And so I'm going to try to keep a little piece of Heather Annabel, who I never met and who I never even heard of until tonight, in my heart. I'll keep her there to remind me to try to see the good in those around me, even as the ugliness of the world seems overwhelming. When I talk to Heather's friends, once again, kindness is just the word that kept recurring. So rest in peace, Heather. I'm sorry that one so kind died so cruelly at the hands of one she so trusted. Heather deserved a long and happy life, but instead she died at the age of 31 in violence and in terror. Now, I have created the Heather Annabel Memorial Fund on CrowdRise, where all of the proceeds go towards the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, who provides support for battered women and children. And I'm sorry to MRAs and to other anti-feminists because I wasn't able to find a domestic violence charity that also accepted the reality of male abuse. But that is a different fight for a different time, because it's too late to save Heather, but hopefully we can all work together to save other women and children from meeting with the same fate. The link to the memorial fundraiser can be found in the description section down below, as well as in the pinned comment for this video. I guess that's all I have to say. TJ Kirk, peace the fuck out.